Oh, the Christians, we need to help our brothers and sisters in Israel. We need to go out there and we need to fight their wars because God is for them. God is for the nation of Israel. Really? Let's read. Page 31. It is no longer, and it has not been for a long time, a theological matter. It has nothing whatsoever to do with religion and conscience, declared Herzl. What's more, everyone knows it. The Jewish
it has nothing whatsoever to do with religion
nor
and conscience, declared Herzl. What is more, everyone knows it. The Jewish question is neither nationalistic nor religious. It is a social question. It's not religious. The nation of Israel is not a religious nation. Right there it is. You can read it for yourself. He admitted the substance of the anti-Semitic accusation, which linked the Jew with money. Herzl admitted it. And I've seen these Jewish rabbis, they'll do this all the time. You guys in doing the whole usury thing? Yeah, yeah, we do. You behind some of the guys that were behind the creation of the Federal Reserve in America? Yeah. You guys are the ones controlling the pornography thing completely? Yeah, we are. The brother that runs Stranger Than Fiction channel, he just brought out a video today showing Jews, and they're saying, yeah, we mostly controlled Hollywood, but we wanted to make sure that we controlled all of pornography. So yeah, we're the ones running pornography. All the different websites, yeah, Jews. And the adult films, most of the men in the adult films that we put out are Jewish men, and they're fornicating with Roman Catholic women. Again, proving the fifth kingdom. Mingled Jews and Roman Catholics working together. Committing spiritual as well as physical fornication for money. Continuing, page 31. But a man like Daniel would surely know that the historic homeland of the Jews no longer has any value for them. It is childish to go in search of the geographic location of this homeland. And if the Jews really returned home one day, they would discover on the next day that they do not belong together. It's right there. I'm not making it up. The Jews get back to their land, they realize, oh, we don't belong together here. Pretty crazy. Page 36. Now the death of a useful man is criminally wasteful, for there are great tasks to be undertaken. About the money. We don't want to see guys die and things. We need to use them for their labor. You'll see it. In the early days of May, Herzl addressed to Baron de Hirsch, the sponsor of Jewish colonization in Argentina. Argentina? Mm-hmm. In these notes he writes, if the Jews are to be transformed into men of character at any reasonable period of time, say 10 or 20 years, or even 40, the interval needed by Moses, it cannot be done without migration. And what will be the message given to the men assembled? You are pariahs. You must forever tremble at the thought that you are about to be deprived of your rights and stripped of your possessions. You will be insulted when you walk in the street. If you are poor, you suffer doubly. If you are rich, you must conceal the fact. You are not admitted to any honorable calling, and if you deal in money, you are made the special focus of contempt. The situation will not change for the better, but rather for the worse. There is only way out into the Promised Land. Where the Promised Land was to be located, how it was to be acquired, is not yet mentioned. Herzl does not seem to have thought this question of decisive significance. It was a scientific matter. It was the organization of the migration which held his attention. The political preparations among the powers, the preliminary changes to be brought about among the masses by training, by tremendous propaganda to get people to believe that Israel is, the land, it's the chosen people and all this other stuff. The popularization of the idea through newspapers, books, pamphlets, lectures, pictures, songs. I didn't write it. But there it is. Pause it and read it. Okay. Further down the page, page 37. And what is religion? Bethink yourself what the Jews have endured for 2,000 years for the sake of this fantasy. Fantasy. This book right here, just fantasy. Aesop's fables, whatever other types of fantasies and whatever else out there. Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Bugs Bunny, Mickey Mouse, whatever else in the Bible. And these are the blessed people of God. Huh? The ones that you should send your money to, help build their nation, their market over there. And I don't mean market as in a place where people go and sell groceries or whatever. I'm just saying understand marketing terms there. Page 39, the promised land where we can have hooked noses, black or red beards, and bow legs without being despised for it. Funny. Again, there's racial allegations, racial slurs about Jews and whatever. They talk about it themselves. Page 40. Thus, in the course of 5 days, he addressed to his diary a 65-page pamphlet, in effect the outline of Der Judenstaat, which he called Address to the Rothschilds. Trying to market it to these wealthy people. Right there. This plan is a reserve against more evil days. Palestine alone came into the picture for a national concentration of the Jews. The address to the Rothschilds, which was the first complete writing of his plan. Its title was The Jewish State, an attempt of a modern solution to the Jewish problem. It goes down here, but the general German press, especially the Jewish-controlled press, took a negative attitude. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, and I've been talking about this for a while. Why are there Jews that are saying we don't want to go to Israel? Because of the marketing thing, if they want to stay in the country where they're at, making money. If they all have to return to one land, they're going to lose some of that market share in other places. And I get to these anti-Semitic people, I shouldn't use the term anti-Semitic, I get to the people that are anti-Jew, that hate Jews completely, which I don't, and they come out and they say, these Jews have no right to the land of Israel. That's a secular state, Rothschild creation, all this other stuff. And I like to say to them, okay, should they stay here then? If the Jews have no right to go back to the land of Israel, then do they stay here? You're so much against Zionism, where do the Jews go? Well, that's right, you're trying to say that they stay here. And the Jewish-controlled press was saying that exact thing. We shouldn't be forced to go back to the land of Israel. That might fulfill prophecy. That might get us over there where God's going to separate the wheat and the tares. God's wrath will be poured out on us. No, thank you. Don't want to go back. Doesn't matter, you're going back. God's going to make it happen. Page 42. The first was the organization of the Society of Jews. The third, he had 3 different ideas here. The third was the creation of a press to influence public opinion and to prepare the Jewish masses for the Great Migration. The presses, the third was the creation of a press to influence public opinion. They wouldn't use the media to change people's minds, would they? Page 44. Incorporate the Jewish Colonial Trust. The financing behind the whole thing. Down a little bit further, it says, at this meeting, Father Ignatius, or Ignatius if you want to say it that way, Ignatius would be the way to say it in Spanish. This meeting, Father Ignatius, a Catholic believer in Zionism, referred to Herzl as, quote, a new Joshua who has come to fulfill the words of the prophet Ezekiel. Interesting. A Catholic believer in Zionism. A Roman Catholic priest, from what it sounds like. Page 45. When he was asked what the Kaiser should place before the Sultan as the gist of the Jewish proposals, Herzl, what should we say that, what is the thing that you're trying to propose here to the Sultan who controls Palestine there where you want to go back? What's he say? Herzl replied, quote, a chartered company under German protection. That's what this land of Israel is going to be. It's a chartered company under German protection. Isn't that interesting? Page 46. talking about the land of Israel here. It says, the land lacked, what the land lacked was water and shade. That we can supply, said Herzl. It would cost billions, but it will bring in billions too. Well, you certainly have enough money, more than all of us, said the Kaiser. So, Kaiser, I'm not sure if it was Wilhelm first or second or whatever, but the Kaiser in Germany, he said, well, you have the money for this. It's going to cost you billions. You guys have the money. In the book, okay? Just reading what it says. Page 48. Baron Edmund de Rothschild became a member of the executive committee of the proposed Society of Jews. Right there, page 48 and 49. Page 50. There were the Russian Jewish students, led by Leo Motzkin, in a group called Young Israel, headed by Heinrich Loewe. Loewe. I have to wonder if Lowe's store is owned by a descendant. Interesting. But continuing here, page 50, it says, every one of Herzl's ideas was met by protests and public excitement. The protests were usually launched by Jews. The calling of the Congress aroused a great deal of indignation in conservative circles. The rabbis of Germany protested not only to the holding of the Congress, but also the choice of Munich. So there are Jews that are against the creation of the state of Israel and whatever. Yeah, that's not just a new thing. That's going on in his day. Because they don't want to be forced back to the land of Israel for all this to happen. Page 51. On August 29th, 1897, the first Zionist Congress was assembled, not in Munich, but in Basel, Switzerland. Page 52. There was discussion of a bank, of a land redemption fund to be called the National Fund, the creation of a Hebrew university, and the clashes between practical and political Zionism. Interesting. Immediately, page 54, immediately after the first Congress, Herzl grappled with his second task, the creation of the Jewish Colonial Bank. He wrote of the bank in Die Welt in November 1898, the task of the Colonial Bank is to eliminate philanthropy. The settler on the land who increases its value by his labor merits more than a gift. He is entitled to credit. The prospective bank could therefore begin by extending the needed credits to the colonists. Later, it would expand into the instrument for the bringing in of Jews and would supply credits for transportation, agriculture, commerce, and construction. The whole debt system that they love to use. Page 56. And again, when I say they, please understand, I'm not saying every Jew is involved in finance, every Jew is involved in pornography or whatever else, but there's sin there. And I'm going to rebuke that sin as a Christian preacher. I'm going to rebuke the sins of the nation of Israel. All right? I'm going to do that because I love them enough to tell them the truth, and I'd like to see some Jews get saved and flee from the wrath to come. All right, page 56. The Jewish Colonial Trust was finally established with headquarters in London. The Jewish National Fund and the Hebrew University was the hobby of Dr. Herman Shapiro. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. No relationship, I'm sure, to the Ben Shapiro. Little weasel that he is. Page 57.
Let's get the lucky man in here. Cool, because there's a blizzard in New York. 19 New Yorkers died of cold last time there was a blizzard, and now there's a blizzard, so he's spending his time as mayor calling random students to get the youth vote, because that's what he does. He's just an incredibly likable guy.
Hi, Victoria. So, I thought as the mayor, I wanted to call you and give you some news. We've got a full snow day tomorrow. No online school, no remote learning, full classic snow day.
Wow. So, he's making sure that the kids love him because he's out there, he's calling kids to tell them fantastic news. No need to study tomorrow. Woo! No need for remote learning. Education, please, for a woman. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, so that's what he's doing. He's winning hearts, saving lives, telling them that this is going. He's the most performative fucker of all time. The craziest thing is, when they did that whole performative prayer thing in Times Square that I covered in my previous video, which by the way YouTube censored like a fuck ton. YouTube literally demonetized and strangled the shit out of that video. Just to understand what I'm dealing with every time I cover Islam, the religion of peace. Like you'll see like the videos average like 100k views or whatever, 130. And this one I've got 68. I'm just saying. Whenever I talk about the religion of peace, all of a sudden the video ends up getting a lot of death threats, and suddenly they don't do well. It's interesting, but we're not gonna stop. It doesn't stop there. So anyway, because someone has to talk to us. I'm sorry, someone has to talk to us. Now, New Yorkers, instead of going to school, they spent their day pelting snowballs at police officers. Just chasing police officers and throwing shit at them. Isn't that nice? I think that's beautiful. Wow, isn't that nice? So wholesome. Honestly humiliating, by the way. This is disgusting. So again, wherever the NYPD went, throughout anywhere in the city, the, let's just say, unruly individuals from foreign nationalities, primarily, not all of them, but primarily, are throwing shit at police officers. Police badge.
It's assault.
I think this is disgusting, by the way.
It's assault.
It's an actual PvP server in New York right now.
I don't know.
God, dude, look at his eyes.
They're playing for a rock.
Oh my God, he's bleeding from his eyes.
Told you it's fucking assault.
So yeah, so they just assault police officers and they wonder when they do anything.
Yeah. They should just start tasing
Yeah,
people.
it's just complete and utter insanity. It's like completely.
I start tasing
territory.
people
Like,
and
this is
shooting
what happens
people.
to the British police. They
Fuck
can't
that.
do anything. But don't worry, because there's one thing that the police is doing. That's right. They are all praying together for Ramadan.
Ramadan. Lama lama ding dong.
With the name.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so they do these whole performative things where they get all the police to actually do like these nice Islamic prayers and things before eating to break the fast of Ramadan. This is crazy. Like, it's straight up conquer territory, and people are too scared to be called Islamophobic. No, how can you say that this is conquer territory? How can you say this is an invasion? No, you're just being Islamophobic. And these guys probably are not Muslims, by the way. They're probably just random New Yorkers that are forced to do this because the camera's there. And look, you see what happens to the police that aren't doing what they want you to do. So anyway, I felt like it's super important to understand that citizens need to show ID and get paid to shovel snow in New York City because so much of the actual forces in New York has been fired by Zoran Mamdani. So now they are hiring civilians after showing ID to work where they then pay taxes on the money they make, and that taxes goes to illegal aliens that don't have ID. It's beautiful. It's honestly truly beautiful. It's insane watching the actual citizens, right? Because these guys all needed ID to shovel snow here. All right? So watching the citizens are working to plow the streets and get their payments taxed for the foreigners that invade the country. Honestly, incredible stuff. You can't make this up.
Can't make it up.
Now, this is a Palestinian Islamic scholar in Chicago laying out the point.
Unfortunately, these days we don't repeat this enough, or we don't have this aqidah concept firm in our minds that Islam did not come to coexist. Islam Islam لا يعلى. الإسلام يعلو ولا يعلى عليه.
But I'll translate what he said in case anyone's just listening to the audio and not watching the video. Islam is always supposed to be superior and not surpassed.
عليه. And Islam is raised high and nothing is raised above Islam. We can't think of Islam that.
So I say that they're not here to coexist. And I'm Islamophobic. I need to get canceled. I need my videos demonetized. People need to send me death threats. They say they're not here to coexist. And everyone's like, holy moly, you're so cool and nice because you have such a nice culture.
That came to live with these other religions in the sense that Islam is a religion amongst those religions and they have a share with the truth. And they have a share of justice. And they have a share of, this worship of Allah, the correct worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Islam came to correct all of that.
Islam came to America to correct our wrongs. In other words, to force us to become Muslims.
Came to remove the oppression of all those religions, and it is the only truth, and it is the only way to justice.
Beautiful stuff. So anyway, this is Chicago, alright? So I say they're not here to coexist, and I'm Islamophobic. He says he's not here to coexist, and that's just the culture. It's beautiful. So anyway, it turns out a lot of our taxpayer dollars are building mosques in Texas. This was a recently discovered interesting thing.
Texas is ground zero for the Islamic conquest of America. We are deep into a 1,400-year Islamic immigration conquest pattern, a patient, relentless strategy of settlement, infiltration, and eventual dominance. The Muslim Brotherhood's 1991 explanatory memorandum entered in federal court calls it a, quote, civilization jihadist process to destroy the West from within. That plan has been capturing Texas
right
for
here.
over 35 years. We now have
Civilization
over
jihadi
330 mosques.
from the Holy Land, yes.
Quote, our
From the Holy Land
infrastructure.
Foundation Tribe.
Erdogan calls them, quote, our barracks.
Erdogan is the
Right here.
leader of Turkey, all right? The leader of Turkey calls the mosques in Texas his barracks.
You're blocking my light.
At least 650.
Like, they're really open and honest about it. I respect it. I respect how honest they are, you know?
Islamic nonprofits channeling
Dragon Tales,
dozens of
yay!
Islamic scholars and banks promoting Sharia compliance finance. More than $4 billion in taxpayer funds routed to Islamic entities since 2017.
For what? PS5?
Wow, really evident. That's what tax dollars
I don't
do.
know.
Our own money fueling our demise.
Yeah. So anyway, people are finally waking up and realizing, mostly because we're looking
Damn,
over.
25 years
All right, and I
ago?
wanted to focus on England today a lot because it's
Yeah,
this
wow.
is the inevitable
You're late.
conclusion to whatever's happening
Yeah.
in New York.
Wow.
So in England,
What was that,
Rupert Lowe,
64?
he's running for Prime Minister and in the Restore Britain
Super
Party,
NES?
a brand new party that just started this month, and it's already unbelievably doing so well. And if you are
No, it'd be like
English, if you're
PlayStation 2.
British, you have to tell your friends and family about this
Yeah.
because this is pivotal for the future and survival of England as a country. There is no other way to get out of this mess democratically. This quite literally is the only and final democratic solution. So anyway, Rupert Lowe releases this statement from the Rape Gang inquiry. The Rape Gang inquiry was shut down by the actual British government, and he's basically running it himself these days. And the craziest part is, no one even would have even talked about this documented incident of Muslims and police officers that are also Pakistani Muslims getting together, placing bets, and having dogs rape women and forcing them to watch footage of themselves getting raped by dogs. All right, no one even knew about
This
it.
is what's coming to
This
America.
wasn't public info.
Keep sleeping.
It's so weird. Anyway, it's worse. So this is Adil Rashid, 18
Been
rapes,
saying it for
18
years.
years old, rapes a 13-year-old girl. The judge lets him off because he didn't know he couldn't rape girls. Yeah, the judiciary is the enemy here. It's also compromised. It's also woke. Oh, he didn't
Right
know.
here. Here we
that
go.
children-
I actually interviewed him the day before he got
Your
sentenced.
culture is beautiful and wonderful the way it is. I would never say your culture is inferior. He didn't know you could
Took a
rape
trip to that
children.
hotel.
So they release him, and this is literally what England had to deal with for years.
He's now in prison.
Right
He was
now,
sentenced
the
to
craziest
23
part
years because he's Al Qaeda. He was involved in a plot with 2 Al Qaeda operatives from the UK to kill Saudi Crown Prince Abdullah, who became the
Face to the front for me.
Are you prepared,
Civilizational
America?
jihad is here in America. Are we ready? That's this evening's topic. One of the most acclaimed novels trying to make sense of the civilizational disaster of the First World War, Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises, ends with one character saying bitterly to another, "Isn't it pretty to think so?"
Face to the front for me.
It took a cataclysm like the greatest war
Look at this.
humanity had ever seen,
Look, see this video?
Western
See this video
civilization,
right here?
out of its
Yeah, but look.
pretty fantasies
11 years
that there
ago.
could never be
Suck
such a
dick,
war.
dude.
What will it take
Okay,
to
here.
wake
You
America
suck a dick.
out
No, that
of
doesn't work
the
that way.
"Isn't it pretty to think so?"
Here, let me bring up.
Represented after the
I
9/11
saw it.
attacks. We will
Good.
observe somberly the 13th
See.
anniversary of those attacks later
Suck
this
a
week.
dick.
Represented when a fine president of the United States, but a man blind on this issue, George W. Bush, called Islam a religion of peace despite followers of Islam having used 4 aircraft to attack our nation's capital and our financial capital, Washington and New York. The denial represented recently by President Barack Obama, whose policies many of us deplore, and Prime Minister of Britain, David Cameron, whose policies many of us applaud, both of them saying what's going on with the gruesome beheading of Americans by the Islamic State.
Right here.
Other
Hey,
manifestation.
look.
What do you want?
Enjoy
What?
24-hour access at most Planet
Look
Fitness
at-
clubs. $1 down.
You brought it
$50
up,
a month.
so I had to
And
comment on
February
it.
Leave me
27th.
alone.
That's what I do.
I got it! It's seriously! It's the greatest picture ever! Oh my god! What'd you do to Butters this time? It was genius! I waited till he was totally asleep, right? And then I got my camera, and I pulled down his pants, and then I took a picture of his wiener in my mouth. Dude! Look, I got his whole wiener in my mouth, see? Oh man, I got him good. Dude, how is putting Butters' wiener in your mouth getting him? Because that makes Butters gay now! No, dude, that makes you gay. What? You put a guy's wiener in your mouth, that makes you gay, stupid. Nuh-uh. Yeah, Kitty, that doesn't make me gay, huh? But I'm not gay, you guys. You are now. No, it's a stupid mistake. Doesn't matter. You're gay now. No, it was just for a second. What can I do? How can I reverse this? You can't. No, wait. I know how you can reverse it, Cartman. How? The only way you can cancel it out is to get Butters to put your wiener in his mouth. Really? Yeah, then it cancels out the gay polarity. Shit, I gotta find Butters.
Shut up.
Idiot.
Oh my god. Now I want to see
Islam
that
on the
one.
march. Both men say it has nothing to do with Islam. How can this be? How can this be? What
You
will
gotta
it take
find-
to
what's
wake
it
up
on,
America?
Let's
The
try
civilization
HBO
of
Max
jihad
or
is
something.
here. As I
You're
mentioned,
about to
John
blow.
Gwendolo was
Suck my
the very
dick.
first distinguished guest speaker ever presented by the Centennial Institute in March 2009, nearby here in the Beckman Center.
Let's watch another one till. Ooh, surprise for Butters.
Okay, open your mouth, Butters. That's good, just like that.
No.
Hey, wait a minute. This ain't a trick, is it? You're not gonna stick something icky in my mouth, are you?
Icky.
I swear on my mother's life, Butters, I'm not going to stick anything yicky in your mouth. Okay. All right, you ready? All right, just, okay, open it. Good. Okay, here
Come
it
on
comes.
now.
Just sit really still, okay? Here we go.
Butters!
Whoa! Hey, Dad!
Butters, what are you doing?
I'm getting a surprise!
Oh my god. Shut up. Dude, shut up, dude.
I'm getting a surprise.
That would be you.
You wish. Never. Timmy, Jimmy!
Yeah. Go get it.
Oh, hi, Jimmy. Come on in. I understand
understand you have something important you want to talk to me about. Well, Timmy, as your
They're
counselor,
doing their
I want
cooking
you to know
channel
that you
YouTube
can
out
tell me
there.
anything, okay? And whatever's troubling you, I want to try and help you with it.
Timmy.
Okay, right, you're Timmy. You have a problem?
Timmy.
Jimmy?
Timmy.
Oh, Jimmy Vollmer. Oh, okay, what about him?
Timmy.
Okay. Don't quite follow, Jimmy. Right, Jimmy Vollmer. Right, and he's Jimmy.
What's wrong with Jimmy?
Jimmy got mad.
Oh.
He's trying to tell him Jimmy got mad. He said, Jimmy.
Why did he get mad?
I don't know. You got here. Look, there we go.
Man, fuck you.
I don't know. It's hard for me to tell too.
Ah!
Yeah.
See, he's shooting up steroids. That's what he's trying to tell him. He's taking steroids. See?
Oh, hi, Jimmy. Come on in. I understand you have something important you want to talk to me about.
Look.
Well, Timmy, as your counselor, I
Oh,
want you to know that you
yeah.
can tell me anything, okay?
Hey,
Whatever's troubling you, I want to try
It's
and
quite a
help you.
surprise over there. Giddy up.
Shut up.
Okay, right.
Okay,
Timmy.
you Timmy, you don't have a problem.
You have a problem?
Not Timmy, Jimmy. See?
Jimmy?
Jimmy? Alright, we're going back to reality. We've seen it enough.
Oh, Jimmy Vollmer.
Jimmy Vollmer.
He was one of the first.
Wake up, America.
Out of a couple of dozen that were honored
Hey,
to now live
turn that halfway
in
down.
various specialties at Centennial Institute.
Just halfway.
Much more important,
No.
Mr. Guandolo is a
Please.
1989 graduate of the United States Naval Academy.
Oh,
he took
shit,
a
it fucking
commission as a
fell.
Marine
No
officer.
way.
He went to Ranger School.
Damn
He
it.
served for
There's
several
nothing
years
left.
with distinction. And then he
Put my dick
put
in
on
your
a
mouth.
business suit and began serving his country in the
Right there,
FBI.
who's that? Why you keep skipping past
That
picture?
honored,
'Cause you and him?
admired institution, supposedly incorruptible.
What are you? Look at this. Here, let's show your arm
He
to
became a
America.
leading
America, she wants you to see her arm. Let me show you her foot.
No, get
Evidence
off
was
my
broken.
foot.
Was later uncontested in the record, even by the defense in the Holy Land
All right, listen.
Foundation terrorism trial.
Not you.
About the designs of the
Nobody's
Muslim
talking to you.
Brotherhood
Oh, good.
to destroy America from
You're
within.
the backstage crew. You
It
just
cost
stay
his
back there and do
FBI
what you do.
career that he would not be silent.
But turn it halfway
He
down,
had been
please.
asked to
We're trying to
silence
hear
him
this.
by national and local Muslim groups just in the last few days. We say never. Never. John Guandolo now does private consulting and public interest training. He's a Paul Revere. He's a man sounding the alert. He's a truth teller. He does it at personal risk and personal sacrifice.
And this is at least
His organization is
10.
called Understanding the Threat.
This is at least 12
Learn
years
more
ago.
about their work on the website of that name, understandingthethreat.com. He's helped with more than one important book outlining what is the threat. And the most recent one, which you'll be signing and selling afterwards,
You sure you don't want to watch a movie with me?
is called Raising a Jihadi Generation. Unmasking the Muslim Brotherhood aims in the United States of America in the 21st century.
Okay, come on.
This is a message that may cost us some sleep
Hey,
tonight,
You
friends,
sure
but
you
it
don't want to
should.
watch a movie with me?
If we don't realize it's us versus
Why?
them,
He's lying.
We are still asleep, as was the generation which 100 years ago today, not only the founding year of this university, but the year when the Western civilization began to collapse in the First World War. Let us not be in denial again. Let us wake up before it's too late. A man to help us do so. Please welcome John Guandolo.
Man, listen to this man. The only thing that's going to save you is this right here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
God's word.
All right, I'm going to say as a caveat right off the bat, I come from an Italian heritage, and I'm a Marine. Okay. By the way, go Army. Is that what you said? Is that what you said? How about go Navy, beat Army? What's wrong with that?
One of my chickens pink with dragon fruit, while Angel and a peacock is up there. I'm gonna make the concoction. So I'm gonna start off with dragon fruit. Obviously, we're gonna use the red dragon fruit.
Back to my Italian heritage and me being a Marine, I have a hard time behind the microphone, but I will try to discipline myself and stand here. It's very hard for me to talk. I'm used to wandering. But I've been asked, especially for the sake of those listening in other rooms, to do so, so I will try. We are here to talk about a very serious threat to the United States.
Very.
But I also want
We're going to watch
put this in context
together.
tonight.
Because I need you guys to know.
Christian University. A couple things.
I've been talking about this for at least 10 to 15 years.
Is that there are a lot of threats to this country right now.
And it's coming true
There's a
right now.
significant threat from Russia and China.
Live.
Obviously North Korea. Iran, which is part of the global Islamic movement, but also stands alone in some ways, and others, large global progressive movement that seek to destroy what it is that we believe. And I want to say at the outset that one of the questions I get is, what do you believe the greatest threat of all of these is? And I believe that we can have a longer discussion on. We're going to talk about the Islamic threat tonight, the Islamic movement. But if you want to boil it down to what's the problem, what's the greatest problem, I believe it's us. Because a healthy body is able to withstand a lot of assault, but an unhealthy body is not. And we have forgotten who we are. We are not teaching our children what this nation was founded on. And that is costing us dearly. We have one primary founding principle, and that is our rights, our liberty, comes from God. This is in our declaration, the idea. They come from God. No man, no government can take them from us. They might take our life, but they can't take our liberty. They can't take our freedom. That's the founding principle of this country. And the founders' understanding of natural law through what they studied and the philosophies they looked at, all coming from that Christian understanding of the worldview.
They don't care.
That understanding of natural law.
Look at me. Show the big girls. Let's dye one of my chickens pink. Let's do
in the United States of America in the 21st century.